Welcome to Prospera,
a luxury city on a Caribbean island run not by the state, but by a private company.
We are building the most innovative startup city in the world.
A concept backed by some of the world's most powerful billionaires, driven to create their own utopias.
Humans have a 120-year ceiling, and so far, no one can punch through it.
Where radical, potentially dangerous new medical procedures are easy to access.
My favorite implant is my magnet in my finger.
Is this a vanity project for the eccentric and super rich? Or the start of new notions of governance? We're on the island of Roatan, off the coast of Honduras, one of Latin America's poorest countries. And we're on our way to a startup city known as Prospera. It's established and run with the help of tech billionaires. It has its own laws, its own very low tax regime, and is part of a new libertarian drive to replace governments with corporations.
Hola, buenas tardes. Tenemos el QR code.
To enter Prospera, you need to download a QR code.
Sí, el alcalde, ¿no?
Though as it turns out on the gate, they still ask you to sign a piece of paper, agreeing to abide by its rules.
This is the Beta building. It's called Beta building and then the Beta district, right?
Jorge Calindres is technical secretary, effectively the mayor of this place.
Originally it was 58 acres and then it was expanded into over 1,000 acres.
It's pretty big.
I think it should be bigger.
The land here is a special economic zone, or ZE. Similar projects exist around the world, but this one is turbocharged. Jorge was appointed by the Honduran government, but Prospera has its own legal system.
This is the Duna Tower. It is the tallest building on island.
Is that a co-working space up there?
Inside, a cash machine that converts bitcoins to dollars. Cryptocurrency is the lifeblood of this startup city.
Is what you're doing here providing at least an alternative to the idea of the nation state, if not undermining it?
It was through Honduran independence and sovereign autonomy that states were created. What we are offering in Honduras, and possibly in the Western Hemisphere, is an alternative form of governance. We believe that people have a fundamental right to freedom, and that as free and conscious human beings, we should be able to agree between each other on how to govern our societies.
Welcome to the Network State Conference. Can we get a little noise in here?
Prospera is perhaps the most established network state, an idea pioneered by tech elites, where digital communities come together in the real world to form new societies from scratch.
We are here in Honduras at Prospera, freedom capital of the world.
Prospera has received nearly $200 million of investment, financed by some of the biggest names in Silicon Valley, ideological believers in granting entrepreneurs as much freedom as possible.
The place is lit up with entrepreneurs.
When we visit, it's quiet, with around 200 residents staying here, largely foreigners.
Our apartments are for sale as well.
Ivan grew up in Donetsk, eastern Ukraine.
What is it that attracted you to coming here? What's your vision for this place?
Since I was a kid, I always wanted to build a city, startup. The best idea behind it that you vote with your feet. If I move here, it means I believe in it. It means I want to invest my time and money. It's nice, beautiful. It has 2 floors.
Ivan sees himself as a pioneer, planning new apartment blocks. But Prospera is very much a work in progress. Food deliveries, waste collection, all comes from the rest of the island.
We could do anything here, right? We want people here that are interested in what's happening here.
Guillermo is a Honduran filmmaker and stand-up comedian who now calls Prospera home.
I really like to think of these crypto founders, all these startup city guys. They're kind of like that guy you knew in middle school who had a really cool treehouse, right? Except now that they're adults, instead of a treehouse, it's a third world country.
That makes you laugh. I mean, it makes me laugh, but it also kind of worries me. Does it worry you?
People talk about like we're removing the sovereignty or the autonomy of Honduras, but realistically, like Honduras has been in the hands of some really bad people for a really long time. So I would rather it be in the hands of well-meaning people, billionaires even, but that actually want to do good stuff, than it being in the hands of the people that we've been having for the last 200 years that have brought my country to the point where it's at right now.
They're witnessing a man get a chip implanted in his hand right now.
The focus here is on the future. Biotech companies have been using Prospera as a base to push the boundaries of the human body.
This one on my hand, it's like a little grain of rice-sized chip. Scan my hand and it goes right to my website. And then my favorite implant is my magnet in my finger.
YouTubers visiting Prospera 2 years ago filmed companies implanting data chips into people.
Humans have a 120-year ceiling, and so far, no one can punch through it.
And tech entrepreneur Brian Johnson documented his visit to Prospera, seeking treatment to reverse aging.
Humanity's only objective.
These experimental procedures are not legal in much of the rest of the world. In Prospera, they say cutting back on red tape helps pioneering companies thrive. Critics accuse them of endangering patients.
So if you have a cancer that has been proven in laboratory tests to be curable, let's say, you could come and you have that cancer and you want to get that treatment, you could come try it out here. And so that's what they're proponents of here, is the right to try. So it's your body, you have a right to try whatever medication, seems to work.
Even if there's a risk.
Even if there is a risk, yeah, but you have a right to try it.
Prospera has proved controversial within Honduras. It was set up with the help of a right-wing government, but a subsequent left-wing prime minister repealed legislation creating the ZA Special Economic Zones, leading Prospera to launch an $11 billion lawsuit, unaffordable for a poverty-stricken state. Now Prospera's supporters are back in power.
There are people who accuse this of being a neo-colonial project. And of course, there is a history in Central America of multinational companies owning land here, and that not ending very well for the people who are living here.
There is actual state presence within the city, and which is my job essentially to make sure the labor inspector works, to make sure that there are proper environmental standards, proper medical ethics standards. I believe that cities, if they're allowed to grow, they will bring Honduras into a new stage of economic growth and development.
The residents of Crawfish Rock, a small fishing village just next to Prospera, have long wanted to see more development. But some here fear the project will swallow up their land too, forcing them out. Others are working for Prospera and see it as an economic opportunity. What determines the success of this startup city will likely be the power of its cherished free market. Will enough people buy into its vision and actually move here?